The snow leopard eyes was at that time the masthead on our website, so he was copying that.
I don't want to say it's all the way similar, but I mean, it definitely looks like it.
Here, he was handing out a business card that said Florida office and had had our area code, a number that forwarded to him.
Yeah, he came up with a Florida address and a Florida phone number to help ping all that stuff together.
And it worked. People were contacting us and saying, hey, I didn't think you did this sort of thing.
Oh, that definitely pissed her off. And then it just got worse.
We couldn't sue over the cup heading. Standing to do that. But sue for violation.
We are now on the record in the matter of Big Cat Rescue Corp versus Big Cat Rescue Entertainment. This is the videotape deposition of Joe Schreibvogel. Schreibvogel. Okay.
Honestly, I thought it would end there. I thought he would look at that and be smart enough to say, you know what, I don't want the expense of a lawsuit. I'll just stop using their name. He continued to use the name, and he filed counterclaims to drag this out.
We built a website, 911animalabuse.org. We put a reward out for information leading to who killed Don or where Don's remains are.
Why did you set that up?
I've got rotators.
Why did I set that up? To start posting the truth about Carol Baskin for a change. Is Don really under the septic tank?
They're coming, shush.
Trying to expose the fact that she is scamming the public. I'm gonna stay on your ass so
Oh
hard
my god, what a noob.
that you're gonna
He's
end up
diffused
in
killer.
jail for fraud. before
Kill
it's
him.
over with. Why did it take $47,652 to put on
You had your sound and you
to
died.
only raise $45,000?
This is just not true.
Hey,
I
can
don't
you
think
all shut the
Joe
fuck up before I mute you?
lying to
Seriously.
be the question
Shut the fuck
of
up. Shut the
ethics.
fuck up.
I think he would consider it to be an art form.
It's like the Hatfield and the Ford. They go at each other. Oh, you did this, you did that. I got this, I got that. It's just it's a crazy little comedy between exotic animal owners.
She even got your Big Daddy cigar. Looky there. Oh, that's getting the phone to ringing. Yeah.
Joe Exotic was everything I had dreamed of in finding a reality show.
So this morning we're shooting
Publicity stills
for Joe Exotic Tiger King, the reality show.
in order to get the skills that we need to send out
Okay,
to
mate.
the news media and everything else worldwide for the first episode of the show.
And how's this
Plant the bomb, maybe.
knowing our
Rick
prime
Plant.
Kirkman. He came to the zoo as a producer for Joe's reality show. Joe had been trying,
He's
nobody could get it
fucking...
kicked off.
I'm not planting.
Rick Kirkman promised him he could get it done.
Doing his little internet shows was only my way of getting into the zoo because I had a camera crew shooting a reality show
church.
behind the crews shooting his internet show. I didn't give a crap about his internet show, but that was the deal. He signed a contract, I'll let you shoot a reality show if you'll go ahead and run my studio.
Okay, people, stand by. 15 seconds of showtime.
Stand by, video one. Video one is cute. Let's get Joe on the set. Teleprompter.
It worked out good for me. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna make $1 million off this reality show. I'll do your little piddly ass internet show.
This is Joe Exotic's
Ah,
episode
so much
of Eat
better.
Alive. Discovery Channel, here I come.
I mean, it was a passion of his to do a reality show. You know, gay man on a zoo, toting a gun. He said it'll sell for sure.
That's Joe Exotic, otherwise known as the Tiger King, the gay gun-carrying redneck with a woman.
He was like a mythical character living out in the middle of bumfuck Oklahoma and owned 1,200 tigers and lions and bears and monkeys and shit.
We're shooting the reality show in segments. So this morning segment, we were to go into Joe's bedroom, get the alarm going off, Joe waking up.
There was something so odd about the man, and yet he had so much confidence because he owned the world in his head.
Gotcha.
Keep rolling, keep rolling. Now this is the kind of movies we're gonna make here, okay?
I sent him the title of Joe
See,
Exotic.
I just took my finger off to tell you where he was and he killed me.
It's fucking heavy.
So I said, here's what I'm going to do, Joe. I'm going to build a king's throne. Big solid wood, red velvet, the whole works. And I'm going to put it in the middle of the big tiger cage with all these tigers around you. And he's like, oh, okay, I like that. He wanted to be famous more than he wanted anything else in life. Man, when he saw that footage, he went wild. He's like, I am the Tiger King. I've always been the Tiger King. You'd go in there, he'd go into the gift shop into his office at 8, 9 o'clock at night, and it was and you go around, he was sitting there playing the shot over and over of him and his throne. Joe's ego was so big,
Give me my whip.
way too big for his little body.
Look into my eye.
2 more tagged on banana.
He would have
Look
done
away,
anything
Keno.
to become famous. I watched him fire people just because he knew the camera was rolling.
1 more.
Having the cameras rolling in the morning
They're both
meetings set Joe off. It was like lighting a firecracker.
And if you think it's funny, you can pack your shit and go right now. Because the disrespect around
Kill him,
this
Green.
place
He'll
is
see your
ending
shot
today.
before you see him if you don't.
You're the slacker, and you do less than anybody here. Ain't gonna work with me, so you need to find a new job.
But
He started getting so crazy to where he had a rubber blow-up doll, and he would have Carol written on a name tag on it, and he would take a dildo and be shoving it in her mouth. Carol, this is coming for you, and it's gonna catch up. I mean, it got crazy. Got crazy.
And this picture that you see back here, that's
Beast
our
clear,
son,
beast
right?
clear,
With
beast
him
clear,
posing
beast
in
clear,
front
beast
of
clear.
the bullet holes in him. It's like, this guy is just
they're all on A.
unbelievable.
We all tried to tell him, knock it off, stupid. You know, all you're doing is asking for a battle that you don't, even if you do win, it's still gonna cost so much time, so much money, so much everything. Just bow down, tell him to fuck it up, fuck it up. But no, he didn't.
He became more obsessed with all that than he actually took care of the cats that he had. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or anything like that, but I'm glad I was here.
And then the rabbit picture showed up on Facebook.
I was given a picture via email from a lady in Florida. A big cat rescues employees bashing rabbits in the head and posing like they're some kind of trophies with big smiles on their face. This is what I got sued over. Does that look happy?
Familiar with one of your videos that you Carol Baskin saw 39 killing innocent rabbits?
I remember doing 57 sagas of Carol Baskin. I don't right in front of me have what Saga 39 was about. But yes, I did some sagas on Carol Baskin killing rabbits.
It was back before we could afford to give the whole prey to the cats as frequently as we do now. So they're holding these rabbits with blood on their noses and they're grinning from ear to ear because their favorite cat's finally getting a rabbit. And yet that has been twisted into us being these horrific monsters that would get pleasure out of hurting a rabbit. So, you know, that kind of stuff, you're just like, really? Do I have to explain this to somebody?
She sued me for copyright.
What would you do?
I posted it all over Facebook. This wasn't her photo either. After I posted it, she paid $5 for the person that took this photo. And then 3 months later, she copyrighted it. And then she sued me.
The one lawsuit was about the rabbit photo, and the other lawsuit was about a bunch of photos where he would take a picture of Carol and take her head and put it on the body of a man in a diaper. So here's this picture of this gooey thing, and it says, "Smile, everyone. Life could be worse. You could have a crotch like Carol does." I believe they had just slaughtered a horse, and this is the horse's penis that he's holding, and it says, "Hey Howard, suck my Captain Morgan, LOL."
And by the way, that is a penis, a horse penis.
That was my recollection.
We did a protest in front of Carol's place. Every person that drove by hollered murder. I don't even know how you hold your head up in a community that thinks you killed your husband.
And at the time that you were handing out these handouts with the photograph, which is Exhibit 1. This lawsuit was already pending, correct?
Yeah.
And you were aware that Big Cat Rescue did not approve of or authorize your use of this photograph, correct?
Yeah, except I didn't make these.
But you participated in the demonstration and handed them out, correct?
Yeah. No, actually, I didn't hand them out. I'm the one in the bunny suit.
Third page, you're the bunny?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joe Exotic, and we're gonna make an honest woman out of this bitch.
In early 2013, we were coming up to this trial in January, and we had filed a motion for summary judgment. And the judge announced that she was granting our motion, and his counterclaims were going away.
Oklahoma's home for live local late-breaking coverage.
An Oklahoma man who goes by the name Joe Exotic has agreed to pay a Florida animal sanctuary nearly $1 million to resolve a trademark infringement lawsuit.
You know, the saying that you get your day in court, well, I don't feel we got our day in court. Dirty politics is what I call it. She had to result into financially draining us. You know, I actually believed in the justice system there for a while until this happened.
The $1 million judgment, you know, I just thought she did it to make a point. Look, I'm not going to back down. You're not going to intimidate me, and you're not going to have the final word. I was surprised that she was actually trying to collect payment. Who has the millions to spend that amount of time in court? She did.
She'll never get $1 million back. I don't own anything.
Get your gun out now.
I don't own anything. This bus is not mine. Those colors are not mine. Not stupid.
She wanted everything in assets, from vehicles to four-wheelers to everything.
She can take everything away from me. I don't give a shit, because she will never shut this mouth up, all right? Until the day I see her ass in prison.
Joe, he turned over what he had to, because a lot of it was possessions. She took the semi-truck and she took the tour bus, which in her opinion was a win, because he couldn't do road shows anymore now without the equipment.
He had already spent $250,000 fighting her.
Carol had him by the balls, and he hated her. God, he hated her.
Did I hear you say you wanted my fucking watch? Really? My watch?
Any of the assets that Carol wanted in his lawsuit, he would take out there and blow it up with Tannerite.
They tell me you want my goddamn bed, too. Good damn.
And say, here's your assets, come get them, and just be a pile of crap. He never stopped antagonizing her.
All I did constantly was roll the camera, roll the camera, roll the camera to get all this shit on tape, and I had everything on videotape. Good, bad, and ugly.
I want to make this show go. I know how great this reality show could be. It's so unique. I just got to get it on network. I've been living here on the zoo and living and working, and I'm here at the zoo 24/7. I'm just tired, very tired.
We were negotiating with the network to buy the show. It would have netted him quite a bit of money. It's the only way he was going to pay that $1 million. But it came to a crashing halt.
Shit. Yeah, I got woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Ricky came in. These motherfuckers had blown up our the studio. the blast was so big that it blew the doors open.
Joe had gone to Chicago for a funeral, and it was me and Ricky on the park with the other crew. And Ricky says, I ain't touching nothing until the fire department gets here. I want it looked at.
That building where the alligators were kept, as well as a studio that Joe had, it was clearly an arson. It was a set fire.
It had burned so hot, there was nothing left. I dropped to my knees and I cried. I cried because all of our footage was in that studio, and I haven't backed up anything outside the studio.
An arsonist hit our facility and set fire to not only my recording studio, but the studio that houses our alligator, which caused them all to burn up and perish, boiling alive in an inferno, or a towering inferno, boiling alive in a towering inferno of nothing but flames and fire.
For somebody to burn down the alligator house, they gotta be a pretty sick person. Because they burned up 7 of my crocodiles.
If you have a problem with me, take it up with me, like a man. Don't burn live, innocent animals to get your fucking point across.
We're not really liked by the animal world, you know, animal rights people hate us. We get constant threats on the phone, emails, letters.
We're offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and the conviction of either this suspect or the people that were involved. If it is tied to any animal rights organization, we are going to double that reward. Carol Baskin, crawl this fence and try and hurt any of my animals again? You can guarantee I'm gonna put a trap in your ass the first time to make you squirm around on the ground, and then I'm gonna put a bullet right between your fucking eyes. I'm waiting for him to catch Carol Baskin in this, because we got emails between her and my producer. She offered him $20,000.
Wait, she offered who $20,000?
My producer.
To do what?
To get all the footage and set fire to my studio.
I had sent Rick Kirk a Facebook message, and I said, I think you probably don't know about the person that you're working for.
Her intent was to warn him that we never made him any kind of offer or asked him for anything.
Yeah, I got him on videotape.
I swear that's Rick Kirkman walking in front of the video that morning that it burnt down.
I was like in shock. I was like, are you fucking blind? It's like, that's my retirement that just burned, okay? I got everything invested in that project that no longer exists.
As far as the footage, I don't know who's got it. I suspected Kirkman of taking all his material.
I was the one person Joe feared the most because I was shooting everything in his personal life and could take what I saw and witnessed and harm him with it.
There was all kinds of shit on there. Ricky doing veterinary work without a veterinarian. We had cameras on everybody every minute of the day. We could have sold it to Carol, and Carol could be, just saving it for a rainy day. Fuck me, man.
A scenario was thrown at me. Do you think it could have been Joe? Because when that happened, he was out of town or for a funeral. What better time? Nobody would have ever suspected him of calling to have it burned down.
Don't ever put that camera down today.
A week before the studio burned to the ground, we had gotten into an argument, and he was like, I don't need you, I can go on, and I pulled out our contract. I showed it to him. I said, Joe, when I came here, not only do I own all the reality footage, I own all of your internet footage from the time I came here that I produced.
My producers are filming a reality show.
They want to do a show related to your part.
They actually got it filmed.
Good. And how you protected that?
he blew up so bad when I showed him that contract. He was like, you don't own me. I said, Joe, actually, I do right now. I do own this show. I do own it.
In my recording studio.
And they don't have copies of it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Just pisses me off, dude. I know. I'll find somebody that makes 10 grand. Make a name for themselves.
After the studio burned, whether he destroyed it or not, it was gone. I remember walking over and handing the camera to Rinky, and I just said, I'm out of here, man. And he said, yeah, you might as well go on home. I got my dog, I got my truck, I left everything I owned, and I drove, and I went back to Dallas. I had a complete nervous breakdown. I was told by Joe and by Rinky that you step foot on the park again, we'll have you arrested for trespassing.
This fire happened about the time Joe had a judgment placed on him from a lady in Florida. Some of the items within this fire were going to be under subpoena. And that was some hard drives and some videotape and things like that. And that might have been a motivation to maybe destroy some evidence.
They might have shut me up for just a little while, but let me tell you, they've woken a monster. Now Joe Exotic's pissed off. Be sure to get online and help us rebuild the voice of you, the people, to bring Joe Exotic TV back to the air.
Was it for the sympathy? Was it for the attention? Oh yeah.
Joe did take advantage of a lot of people. That's why I think the fire of the alligator habitat was a scam. When I first met Joe, we discussed what I would charge him to rebuild at a decent rate. I only charged him $8,000 to rebuild that $120,000 building.
He didn't make any money.
No.
Why did you do it?
For the animals. I mean, I got to pet cats that people wasn't even supposed to be putting their hands in around.
5 months ago, an arsonist poured enough accelerant in there to where it completely exploded the building and burned the building down to the ground. I would like to thank the people from all over the world who don't even know us that dug deep in their pockets in order to rebuild this great GW exotic animal alligator facility.
Our investigation never did come to anything definitive. So the case is still open. Again, it's clearly an arson fire.
I got great news for you. JoeExotic.tv returns to there. We're going to expose the lies, the corruption, and
That building contained computers that held information that we were seeking. I suspect that Joe was responsible for having someone burn down the building, but I have no first-hand knowledge and I can't prove it.
How much has this cost you, this lawsuit between you and Joe?
We've spent over $1 million in legal fees.
You're kidding, is it worth it?
Well, if this were a purely commercial situation, it wouldn't. You'd say this is not economic. But this is part of our mission, to put a stop to this, and we're not going to allow him to abuse the system and wear us out and cause us to go away and succeed at that.
You know, if you've got the money. If you've got the money, you usually find yourself on the right side.
She's got deep pockets. I don't know if she wants the facility or she wants the facility shut down. But any way you look at it, she wants to take over the zoo.
When Joe pretty much maxed out all the credit cards is when he asked me if I wanted to put the zoo into my name. And at the time it sounded like a good idea.
I'm John Finley and I'm the president of the GW Zoo. 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm John Finley and I'm the president of the
GW Zoo. It's real simple.
They've done so many transfers and quitclaim deeds, no one can keep track of it, not even an attorney. You can go down to the courthouse and ask, if you just say the last name Schreiberville, They just take a deep breath and look at you.
Joe kept thinking if he changed the name, it would just be around. He just moved it to another lawsuit.
Joe Baskin's lawyers are vicious, and they go after anybody involved.
She sued me also, because I was at the zoo.
It was in the works that I was going to be sued at the same time.
So everybody that had been involved all got dragged into court.
Joe's parents, Francis and Shirley, their name, Shirley's name is on everything. The trailers, the water bill, the electric bill, the cable, cable bills.
Through the proceedings about the land and fraudulent transfer to his mother, the bankruptcy trustee went after her.
She sues my mom for illegal transfer of assets. Okay, and mom dumps hundreds of thousands of dollars to defend herself. Instead of being in a tiger cage down in the downtown area of Oklahoma City, thanks to Carol Baskin dragging us all out of bed this morning and sticking my mom at the very top of that building right there in order to fuck with her, using a federal court in order to do that. Between the park and the lawsuit, mom ran out of money. Carol bankrupted him.
Hello, good afternoon to everybody in the nation. I want to thank you with my whole heart for all the support and help you have done to get me and my husband out of the mess we were in with this attorney. They come banging on my door with the shit up and demanding the whole sum of money, or else they were going to come in and confiscate all the furniture right then and there. And I know from the bottom of my heart, Carol Baskin down in Florida is behind a lot of this because she's been harassing us right along with Joe for years because she's so greedy and she's so jealous of what he has made of his animal park when hers is nothing.
It's, Mom, pay for this attorney. That's every phone call. Mom, I need some money for this.
Like 300.
I went down to the courthouse and got a copy of one of the deeds, and I said, Grandma, are you aware that this happened? And she said, well, he shoved a paper in front of me and told me to sign it. I didn't think anything of it. Joe dragged him dry.
I told Joe, how are you going to make money? How are you going to make money? How are you going to make money? He didn't have any other way to make money other than cub petting. So he had to breed.
Push another one out. You need to be filming her ass so you can see that cup come out with that camera. Zoom in on her ass.
At that point, Joe was really desperate. He was going to lose the suit. Carol was going to take it.
She's paying hard. I know she's paying hard, but she's having a cut. You'll see. Watch her ass. Give me a whole cut. Give me a whole cut. Daddy, there's a towel my father did.
Everything's alright. Everybody calm down. We'll be alright. Y'all just do what you're supposed to do. Email. They just never stop screaming. I had to finally go sleep in the studio yesterday. It was the only way to muffle it.
It still costs $60,000 to $70,000 a month just to feed all these animals.
There's only 5 buckets of meat in there. 14 cats in here.
Yeah, that's all we got. Since the Walmart meat trucks have sucked lately, I don't even have enough meat to do the walls. It's ridiculous. No. Maintenance. It's like putting a Band-Aid on everything every day. I don't even have bear buckets today. I got one ham. We got chicken coming, so.
You can feed that.
Things got so bad, he started negotiating with Carol and Howard on how to get out of it.
And that's when I had mediation with
the lawsuit and everything.
The prospect of collecting $1 million from Joe was not real high, and I was willing to make concessions. He pointed out that his cash flow is very seasonal. He has few visitors in the winter. What if we take these monthly payments and make them lower in the winter and bigger in the summer? So there were 4 or 5 issues like that I was willing to accommodate. We basically had a deal.
Me and Howard came to an agreement, and he got Carol on the phone. and Carol got greedy. She wanted my mom and dad's house as collateral. That was a deal breaker. Carol asking him, "You know to strip me of just about everything I own. And you're gonna have to kill me to shut me up. Because I'm gonna die a hero, and I'm gonna liberate the animal world. It will be a cold day in hell before you beat me." God is in control. So he'll either pull me through this or he won't.
Jeff Lowe came onto the scene sometime in 2015. He just brought the persona that he was going to save the zoo, so we dubbed him the Godfather.
He says he's rich. He's all about money. It's money, 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 money.
My introduction to Jeff Lowe was, "Hey Saf, this is our new investor."
He came to the zoo, talked with Joe mostly. He would need someplace to put 14 of his own cats.
My grandfather owned, it was called Robbins Brothers Circus. He became the largest menagerie of animals on earth with almost 100 elephants. I mean, this guy he had a ton of animals. And my first cats that I got were probably at 16 or 17 years old. Mountain lions and 1 tiger. What can I get you? What can I say?
Jeff was a businessman for sure. You could tell he's been through the business world a few times.
He flashes a Ferrari around. Rumors has it he has a jet. He would float back and forth from Vegas to Wynnewood a lot. He liked the party life. He liked the scene, up all night, ecstasy, all that stuff. I mean, that was just their style. And that's a big attractor for him because he's a swinger. Him and Lauren swing. They like to have sex with other women at the same time. They used the tigers to entice them in. So he took a few cubs out to Vegas.
So those like bait to get girls.
Oh yeah, it's good bait to get girls. Who doesn't want to play with a baby tiger?
For, I guess, like a really beautiful woman to get a picture with a cute little dangerous animal, it's like, oh, she's got a little spunk in her too.
Little pussy gets you a lot of pussy. There you go.
Yeah.
He put tiger cubs into a Louis Vuitton bag. He rolled them through the casino, up into the suites, and then brought people up to have playtimes with them and party with them.
Oh, she loves you, honey.
Basically, that was their free ride.
And girls came from everywhere.
He posted so many pictures of him in bed with girls and Lauren in bed with girls, and it's the cats. It's really the cats that'll draw people in.
Joe says, y'all want more, I'll give you more. He's a playboy and he's never denied it.
Joe and Travis went out to the mansion that Jeff Lowe had.
Great big fucking mansion, indoor swimming pool in the house and everything. Fucking crazy. Sitting here with Jeff Lowe, we have had a fun day. We went to Wyatches and Dances and goes and spends all his money on weed and everything else for Travis, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
You know, I think he got out there and he was enamored by the big house and fancy cars, and he thought that here's my next victim.
What do you got? He had the money to fight Carol. I want 2 or 3 of those roller carts of $100 bills you had in your warehouse.
You will get one.
I saw like Joe bow down to Jeff, and I didn't like that at all.
Joe was kind of secretive about what was going on.
Guys. They had a call inside the office. There was a conference call between Joe, Howard Vaskin, and the attorneys. It was supposed to be private. All of us had to go outside the office. But, Jeff Lowe was actually in it. He was laying low during the call.
They thought that they had Joe against the ropes because he was broke. Joe offered to pay them $5,000 a month. They said, well, that isn't good enough. She says, we want $5,000 a month, and you're gonna stop breeding, and you're gonna stop cut petting. And Joe says, well, how do you think I can make the $5,000 a month to pay you if it's not through what I do? I just got sick of it, and I stepped up.
So this is all just a waste of time. That settlement agreement is so far from acceptable.
Whoa, who's speaking, please?
Jeff Lowe.
We need you to get off the call.
You know what? When I woke up this morning, I was in a free fucking country. And I'm still there.
And the mediator said, if you won't get off the call, we have to terminate the call. And Jeff said, well, then I just want to say,
Howard, fuck yourself and fuck your cunt wife.
fuck Howard and his cunt wife. With Jeff Lowe coming in to help him, Joe believed that if he just convinced us that he had endless resources to keep the lawsuit going, we would suddenly fold our tent and go away, which of course we were not going to do.
He owed $40,000 or $50,000 for attorneys that were ready to stop defending him in his lawsuit that he had with Carol Baskin.
And they said, we'll make it 35 if you can pay that. So Jeff got a cashier's check for $35,000. And my lawyer recommended that we just dissolve the Carolina Interactive Company and let Jeff open one in his name so Carol can start the lawsuits all over again. So,
Here's another $10,000 reward. Cash. I'm not saying she did it. I'm saying if you have information that leads to her arrest, not even conviction, just her arrest.
Wow. What do you know about Jeff Lowe? Like what?
Only allegedly, not my business. Right. I know it's all on camera. What's wrong with Jeff? I saw one day this becomes a lawsuit. I know.
Well, I just wrote him. I can trust him. And oh my God, shit hit the fan. I didn't know that that mansion was rented. I didn't know that he was behind on Ferrari payments. And as soon as he got the suit in his name, the evil side of Jeff and Lauren came out.
I'm fine.
And tell me what happened when Jeff Lowe got involved.
Jeff Lowe stole the zoo.
Wait, say that again?
Jeff Lowe stole the zoo.
Holy mackerel. Yes, ma'am. I'm ready. I don't want to cut you all short. You guys are ready? You ready for the party? Get the chimp and I'll walk right in.
Well, I don't even know what a chimp birthday party is.
Yes, you do. It's exactly a 5-year-old's birthday party. It's got crappy little decorations we bought at a store. And it has chimps who are going to be hilariously happy about it. And if you got too close, you're going to tear your fingers off. Oh, look at them. They look fucking fabulous. They look fucking fabulous. Scoot closer to China. Our social media these days is just in the millions a week. Millions of people a week are following it.
How do you do that?
Our content is so unique. No one's got the content unless it came from us these days. Make the noise. Where's that little? Don't bite it! Don't bite it! Easy, don't bite, don't bite. Hit it, hit it. Hit it.
It wasn't the zoo anymore. It was nothing but a big scam. a little bit, got a limp, and he's bald, and he's got to pay everybody to have sex with him. Now, this man has got more criminal shit going on than you can imagine. Well, sooner or later, he's going to jail.
From the time Jeff came into the picture, the whole dynamic of the park changed. Joe only cared about one man's opinion. And that man didn't do anything on park. He didn't clean cages. He didn't do book work. He didn't check in customers. He didn't feed cats. Nothing.
Jeff somehow seduced Joe by hook and crook. Joe fell in love with the premise. Joe handed over the keys to the kingdom to prevent Carol from taking the keys to the kingdom. And then through that, Jeff proceeded to try and circumvent Joe's opportunity, authority, and separate him from his wealth, in my opinion.
Everybody was loyal to Joe when we got here. And I think they kind of were skeptical that these two people were going to come in here and make things better.
Jeff Lowe fired half the staff when he walked through the door and called a couple of them fucking faggots and stirred up a bunch of shit.
I had a guy who worked for me for years, a great guy. I'd call him when we moved here. We couldn't find anybody good around local. I said, Alan, I said, what would you think about moving out here? So I give you a place to stay and you just take care of the park, be a handyman for me.
First got to the zoo, I didn't really know anything about the zoo. I don't even think I've ever really been to one, so. Just give you money and a place to live and whatnot. So I took him up on his offer.
Alan was kind of a transient all of his life. Great worker and very, very loyal.
I went to prison when I just turned 18. Did my time for that. I've had many other encounters with the police, but moving on with life.
We were doing okay the first year. You know, we made some improvements that Joe didn't have the resources to make. I wanted to operate a family zoo, a nice zoo, but they required a lot of money. So we met this guy named James Garrettson through Joe, who I trusted. He had some pretty lucrative strip clubs and restaurants and bars.
Done a little bit of everything. I've been in the bar business, ran strip clubs, worked in the circus. You name it, I've done it. I got into cats when I was about 17. Bought a line cub out of the Dallas Morning newspaper. Been around him ever since. I've known Joe a span of about 20 years. Not great friends with him, but friendly. He introduced me to a gentleman named Jeff Lowe. And then that's when me and Jeff became friendly. And then Jeff talked me into giving him $14,000 to open a pizza restaurant.
You can sit down on the patio right next to real life guys, and you can have some of the best pizza that I make from scratch. And that's a Joe Exotic promise.
Used the Walmart donation program to lower the food costs.
They have the best pizza here.
You think most of the meat was from the Walmart truck?
Yeah. Joe's always trying to be bigger than what he was, you know? And that's just how Joe does business.
Joe told me several times,
Says people don't come here to see the Tigers, they come here to see me.
Joe is the entertainment director by title. Even though Jeff was the owner of the park, Joe was the star of the show. Jeff was the star of his show. So which one was gonna rule this world?
Joe Exotic is how many people know him. He mailed off this form to the Federal Election Commission last Friday, announcing his intent to run for president as an independent.
Check, 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 check.
Whenever you're ready.
Hello, America. Listen, it's like this. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of America. Let me try that again. Hey, can you shut that up for a minute?
When he said he was going to run for president, about floored me. I said, holy crap, man. I got a chance. He actually thought he had a chance. He didn't have a chance. He got a chance in hell.
Joe Exotic for the people of America. How's that?
Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are among the most disliked presidential candidates in history. And luckily, there are a great many third-party options out there. There's independent writing candidate Joe Exotic, who claims to run the world's largest private zoo for tigers and produces incredible campaign videos.
I'm not changing the way I dress. I refuse to wear a suit. I am gay. I am broke as shit. I have a judgment against me from some bitch down there in Florida. And this is all paid for by the committee of Joe Exotic Speaks for America.
Wow! Wow! Joe Exotic is truly the candidate you'd want to sit down and have a beer with, then another beer, and then several more beers until you're drunk enough to try meth for the first time.
Whenever that clip went to John Oliver, Joe got a big hit. Even though they were making fun of him, Joe was the star, and everybody was adding him on Facebook and stuff, so he thought he was a celebrity from that point on.
Is America ready for the first redneck, gun-toting, mullet-sporting, tiger-tackling, gay polygamous president?
You know, I think they are. Matt spoken, good looking. Mm-hmm. Love to party and have fun.
Hello.
Let's go blow some shit up.
Blow some shit up.
Anybody that wants to threaten an American citizen by cutting their head off deserves this kind of treatment.
We're getting a good look at your national defense program.
When he's ready, Travis. Ah! That's how we take care of ISIS right there, buddy.
Dude, that went right through it.
I was Joe's campaign manager for about a year and a half. It was the worst experience of my life. It was horrible, horrible, horrible.
I'd like to introduce my friend today.
Joe Exotic for president was 100% a complete and total publicity stunt. It is all about outrage. Get as much views as possible.
I'm as gay as a $3 bill. I'm standing in a cave with 5 full-grown tigers in line.
When that fell apart, he decides to run for governor. Next best thing. I think his exact words were, I couldn't wait another 4 years, so I decided to run for governor.
When I got the job offer to work for Joe, I was like, what's the job? He said campaign manager, and I was like, holy shit, that's my dream job. I'm gonna take it. I don't care what he is. And I already knew he was batshit crazy from our conversations at Walmart. I was a manager at Walmart at the time, and I worked at the ammo section. And he'd come in and buy bullets, like every day, damn near. Tannerite, which is something you can shoot and it explodes.
I'm using nothing more than what I can buy legally over the counter in a gun shop.
I know a lot more than he knew about politics, and that was my main value to him.
Primary elections are next month, and
Joe Exotic for governor, he thought he was going to win.
we can become our state's next governor.
What did people think of Joe running for governor?
Locally?
Yeah.
It was a source of entertainment.
You are a political anomaly. And on Twitter, you're not afraid to respond to viewers with expletives.
Guess what, motherfucker?
When people are running for any sort of election, there's a lot of glad handing, there's a lot of baby kissing. Joe passed out condoms with his face on them.
Political condoms. Vote for me or you need this because you're screwed.
And of course, if you put it to social media, the comments are endless. Probably got more hits talking about him than really the content of everyone else who was running. It's more entertainment.
What are you doing?
Watch it.
Wait, nothing? What a wild interview.
Joe is running for governor of Oklahoma as a libertarian.
It is Joe Maldonado, a.k.a. Joe Exotic.
He had no idea what a libertarian is. He still has no idea what a libertarian is.
I'd like to introduce my wife, but my husband's at home feeding my brand new baby kangaroo. I always wanted to say that.
Our eventual platform was my platform, and that was less government, less spending, less bills.
There's two laws that they're introducing into Congress this year to try and pass. One of them's the Big Cat Safety Act. The only problem is it's all a fraud. You're spending millions trying to decide whether or not I should own a fucking tiger or not. This is my way of living, and nobody's gonna tell me any other way.
The only people who oppose the Big Cat Public Safety Act are those who are breeding these cubs and using them as pay-to-play props. This is a sweeping federal bill. It will cover all of those states, and nobody will be allowed to be keeping these big cats as pets any longer, or breeding them, or using them as pay-to-play props.
You want to know how come these people can get everything that they want introduced into law? Carol Baskin and Howard Baskin spend most of their time and most of their money sucking ass to the politicians.
They want to take it all away from us. This seems entirely un-American, entirely unconstitutional to me.
Doc Antle brought exotic cats into the halls of Congress because if you can get somebody to sit down and pet a cheetah and have their picture made, then when I come in there and say, this is really cruel and that's why it's cruel, they've already done it. So they're like, well, if I say this is cruel now, people are going to say I'm a hypocrite. And so our opponents are really smart in the way that they get out there ahead of us in a way that we just can't. I mean, we're not going to take wild animals into public buildings to make our point.
Here's your bumper sticker. I'm running for governor. Put a bumper sticker on that horse and let's keep the animal rights people out of Oklahoma. Want free shirt? We're gonna change this state. Yeah, it's time that somebody as broke as me and you get in there.
Joe, he had a lot of charisma. Anyone that I could get him in front of, we had their votes.
Do you still have the exotic farm?
Yeah, up to 227 tigers. I got 22 coming in on Sunday. Yeah, it's huge. It is huge. Dude, pleasure seeing you. Good seeing you. I'll get it there.
Joe thought that his political aspirations would lead to more business at the park, which it didn't. You know, of course, it actually, I think it hurt us more than anything else. And he had signs up on the gift shop. He was going to run for president in 2020. And I made him take those down. I said, you know what? The park isn't going to fund your political campaign. And I think it's time to focus back on the animals.
Just get the front on it is all we need first. Don't jam it.
Joe turned into a little bitch and started griping and complaining about Ellen every fucking day.
Oh, I first met Joe, things were all right, I guess, and then it turned like this shit quick.
Joe would ask him to do something if Alan thought it was stupid. He'd say, fuck you, Joe, I don't work for you, I work for Chad. So Joe calls me up, Alan just told me. And I said, well, technically, if he does work for me, he doesn't work for you. I think Joe thought that I put Alan here as a plant to report back to me what was going on.
Tell them if I have to come in there one more time and tell them to hit that radio, they're both going home. Goldilocks, bitch.
Alan called me, he says, I'm cutting some trees down today, and Joe was standing behind me. He says, is it okay if I drop the chainsaw on him? Alan wanted to take Joe out. He hated him that much.
Fucking unimaginable, man. He was hateful.
Communication. You stand lies.
Call you names over the radio. It did not just mean anybody.
Goddamn, girl. Feed the goddamn animals.
Never in my life ever put up with anything like that. And I've worked for quite a few people. He tops it off.
Ready?
There was just a lot of burnt bridges, man.
You got sound?
The fucking staff tried to get me killed in a cage.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to video message number 113.
They put caboose on my shoes.
We heard that Joe was out in the arena while he was filming one of his stupid campaign videos, and this guy was sniffing at his shoes and sniffing at his shoes.
Okay, well, first of all, you haven't recognized the rest of us 40 people that are running.
She was just fascinated by his shoes.
It goes on. Ow, son of a bitch. Lord damn you.
Here's all these people filming Joe being dragged around and nobody's going in there to rescue him.
Get out! Go! Get! nobody help me. Nobody. Get out of here, you bitch!
He came out with a story. Somebody put something on my shoes to get that cat to attack me.
I'm gonna shoot you right between the fucking eyes, bitch.
What scent makes a liger attack your shoe?
If I were gonna, if somebody wanted to kill you, then they would put like sardine oil all over you. Something that the cat wants to eat, not something the cat wants to drool on. Because the perfume, that's all they want to do is just drool all over it. They're just like,
all of the confusion that the Carol Baskin lawsuits were causing him, and all the money was costing him. Somebody like Joe just goes crazy.
His mood swings are significant.
I don't give a shit. Next time you're in jail and you're homeless, be sure you don't call me. You want to see how crazy it gets?
He didn't care who he hurt. He didn't care who he stepped on.
Don't touch this is my fucking meat.
Yeah, Joe was very controlling. John Finley went to visit his brother in Texas or anything like that. He didn't want him to go. If he went, he wanted him back the same day. I don't know how much love was involved, but I'm sure it was the cars that he bought John Finley, the guns he bought John Finley, the four-wheelers he bought John Finley.
This gun right here, Joe bought for me. I mean, I like pink camo. A lot of people make fun of me for it, but you know what? It's just something I like.
He was showering me with gifts and stuff. He bought me a truck. Actually bought me like 4 or 5 different trucks.
If they wanted it, they got it. I mean, all they had to do is ask. And I think that's how he kept them close to him.
John and Travis are both 19 when they met Joe. And at 19 years old, man, the one thing that a 19-year-old guy wants to do is party, have fun, live it up, no tomorrows.
Travis, Nimrod worked at the zoo. He just rode his 4-wheelers and shot his guns at the lake and the river.
Travis was a pothead from hell, and which, who cares, that's all Travis had in his life. He was trapped here in Wynnewood, a boy from Cali, and Joe kept him pumped full of weed to keep him from waking up and realizing this isn't a life to live.
I knew there was drug use going on because of statements made by John and Joe.
Oh, girls! I've always been worried about you being a spy run.
I've had my days of coke. I had my days of drinking. I had my days of meth.
And this is my mother-in-law, Run!
One thing that meth does, somehow or another, it concentrates in your teeth. We call it meth mouth.
Meth was the main one that we did. It was starting to really fuck me up in the head. I'm still kind of fucked up in the head from it now. When Travis came around, Travis would smoke his meth.
I guess Joe was smart enough when he walked up and he seen a young boy. Hey, he's on meth. Come here. I'll provide you meth. I'll give you everything if you come over here and marry me. So I guess that's how Joe did it.
Travis, he would always say that he wanted to go to the strip bar with us, but he said Joe would freak out if he ever left the property. I mean, he told me with his own mouth that he wasn't gay.
I told Joe at least 3 times, Travis was not gay, okay? Travis was banging every girl in the park. And I found out later, John Finley came out and said, look, I gotta tell you, I'm really not gay. I've been sleeping with the girl at the front desk, and we're going off to get married.
All through school, I was dating girls. From the time of kindergarten until I graduated, I had a girlfriend every time.
He actually slept with the secretary Amber there at the zoo. And Joe was pretty close to Amber because she'd been around for a long time.
He left me for a girl, and the hardest part I had dealing with that was I can't compete with that. Leave me for a man, we'll game on, okay? But leave me for a woman, I can't compete with that.
Come to find out, John Finley got her pregnant, so I've seen a few fights.
I think the saving grace in that situation was Travis. You know, Joe wasn't alone. Joe still had Travis.
Neither Travis nor John Finley were gay. And Joe admitted that to me.
Telling them with straight guys. I guess there's not too many gay guys in Wynnewood at all.
You guys edit this shit. I want you to show it to him. Maybe ask me what's wrong, but he only spends 5 seconds listening and then he'll walk out on me. Pretty fucking sad. He doesn't give a fuck about any of my problems. Like, is he trying to make me blow my top?
I don't know. I don't know what he wants.
There are people out there, they will look at a person who is in desperate, dire need of something. In Travis's case, he was addicted to meth. And they take that need and they fulfill it until they become the only person that can fulfill that need. And in exchange, that person gives them whatever sexual or any other favors they want. That's the relationship Joe had with Travis.
It's what? You know what? You know what? What, Joey?
Bad dream.
That ain't even funny. Just not even funny.
Travis came into the office and started complaining to me. Travis was sitting underneath the camera, but it was pointing directly at me. He complained that that he was a prisoner, that he was never allowed to leave the park, he wasn't allowed to get a job, all this was true, and frankly he was upset that he didn't have enough pot.
Black cigarette before I die. You smoking black cigarette before you die.
He'd always pointed guns at people all the time out there at the park. Sometimes he'd wake you up pointing a gun at you. He'd done that to me on multiple occasions. So he had done that to me again in that office that morning and said, you know, freeze motherfucker, which is just what he did. And I told him, dude, you know not to point guns because I've told him before, don't point a gun at me. And he said, oh man, this is a Ruger. There's no clip in it. You know a Ruger won't fire without a clip. I was sitting in a chair, you know, looking at him when he put the gun to his head. It's not like on the movies. I knew he was dead the second that he pulled the trigger button. At the same time, I didn't, you know. I thought it was a joke. Because, you know, Travis was a jokester. He was a prankster. He liked to play pranks on people.
But when I showed up at the zoo that day to get some order going on, Joe's passed out on the front porch shaking. The ambulance is there taking care of Joe. The sheriff's department's got everything shut down. I mean, you had to almost had to climb a fence to get in the place to find out what was going on.
Carbon County officials are investigating the incident and said that
This fucking clown.
Goddamn, best people I've known them for 4 years, man. Joy, a joy, absolute joy of life.
Joe is not thanking the world for the support.
I just kind of felt like I was attached by pain to Joe. Like we had a bond of pain. And I couldn't leave him. Because of course I wanted to leave. You know, why do I want to come back to the office every day that, you know, a horrific accident happened? But, you know, he really loved him.
We're going to try and make this not a day of mourning, but a day of celebration to celebrate the life of Travis Michael Maldonado. And we spent the last 4 years of our lives together. And I asked him every day, I said, why me? And he said, because God put me here to make you smile, and that's my job. And it didn't matter how stupid he had to get. I was sitting there concentrating as hard as I could. on the computer to write a letter to a senator or congressman or something else, he'd come and rub them balls in my face. And everybody who works here knows exactly what I'm talking about, because you've seen these balls. They were like golden nuggets to that boy.
He has to do dramatics, drama. He has to do a show wherever he goes or whatever he does. Who's even acting there? That's the worst thing ever in my whole life. My son being gone. I miss him greatly.
You know, we got married when he was 19 years old. There was 32 years difference between us.
Joe was a year older than me. And yeah, I thought it was very odd. I don't know, I just didn't think that was right. But if Travis was happy, I was gonna accept it no matter, This was right before he came to Oklahoma. And came to see me, and see how young he is? I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know how he ended up with Joe.
Joe changed when Travis shot himself. Joe's whole demeanor changed. Come on in. I do this every year, Christmas and Thanksgiving. I've been cooking all night. Yes, sir. Seriously. Please, Lord, look out for those who are spending this holiday alone without their loved one. And they're going through the same rough time. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Guys, start at this end. Enjoy your meal. This is the only family I ever have. I am third in the polls right now out of 12. Yes. I have tried all day to hold us together. The local biker clubs all came and helped me build this memorial. They actually built this, and it's got his four-wheeler and his go-kart. I had a little different vision. I was going to tier step it, and then they decided to do it with the rocks and concrete. And I actually liked the way it turned out. They did it, built the signs and everything else. Every morning before I open the park, I sit out here with him by myself and smoke a cigarette. And people think I'm crazy, but I take pictures of the sky while I'm doing it. The word high in clouds just floated by that I've got pictures of. I've got pictures of perfect angels.
It was after Travis's death that Joe really completely lost it. James and I would go off into the dark spots of the park and talk about Joe. And just how batshit crazy he had gotten.
And he was so devastated and cried about it for forever and was playing this part, which I think he was playing a part. I think he probably had some onions in his pocket, rubbed his eyes or something. It's all bullshit.
He wanted so much to support me in my political career running for governor of the state of Oklahoma, because he always said, "Hon, if anybody can get the people in this state to love and respect each other, it would be you."
I told Lauren, I said, you know what, if he wants to run this zoo, we have to get away from here. I said, because I'm going to kill this guy. So I said, let's go lease this spot right on Las Vegas Boulevard and we'll do this there. Vegas was crazy. We had the big Vegas mansion, and we had the Vegas parties, and we had tigers in our house.
He decided he wants to stay in Vegas and try and make money out there. He talked a sponsor into buying a bus, and they called it the Jungle Bus.
Like a party bus with animals.
He could actually haul people from casino to casino and let them play with cubs while they're doing it.
We thought it would be a good idea, but we were wrong. That was a big fucking mistake.
All right, I got 15 minutes, so we gotta get them cats loaded. And I gotta change clothes. The white one I named Travis was born 2 days after Travis died. Come on in. I got his lamp that they made me that stays on 24 hours a day, and then his ice box. Gotta get Prince Albert in there.
How long have you had a Prince Albert?
Oh, hell. 18 years. And believe it or not, them padlocks on the side, I wear those on the end of my Prince Albert.
You wear the padlocks?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because they don't make a ring that big. First date, 6 Travis died. And then I get the curls out, because that's my fickle people. A jacket for the date.
Perfect.
Excited?
What?
Excited?
Yeah.
Cool.
You ready, Joe?
I'm ready. Now we gotta go find where the parade is, because that's where I gotta do the news thing real quick. I met Dylan in a chat room. Took me a couple days to talk him into going to dinner. And, you know, you can believe what you want to believe about whether or not things are sent to you or people are sent to you or whatever. But we went to dinner and he never went home. You gonna ride? Where do you want to ride on Friday? In with the Tigers?
Yes.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deal.
I'll ride with the Tigers.
You're gonna ride in here and they just stand here and let them get used to it. They're not gonna bite you, they'll just baby something.
When Travis died, he didn't give a fuck about the campaign, about his family, about anything. All he cared about was that he find a companion. And he was not satisfied until then.
Thanks for having me.
When he found Dylan, he started to bounce back.
His energy was just so strong, you know, and like when he proposed to me, it was one of those things I couldn't think about. I just had to, you know, just gonna go with the flow. It's like my whole life I've just overthink everything, you know. When he proposed, I said yes.
2 months after my son died, he married Dylan. Invited me to the wedding. Okay, I thought it was gonna be a wedding. No, it was the cameraman, me, and the flower girl. So on the social media, oh, Travis's mom's fine with it, so everybody else should be. Then I didn't hear anything from him again. And he was done with me.
My name is Joseph Maldonado, aka Joe Exotic. And yes, I'm running for governor of the state of Oklahoma as well. I mean, not everybody gets the opportunity to see a tiger, you know, especially in a parade.
I don't have to like race them.
Yeah. These bags of snow and kind of just fluff it up to where the lights glow. No, the lights glow under it. Okay?
towards the end of the campaign when I felt like we were probably surging because he started listening to advice. He asked Josh, what are we going to do if we win?
Joe Exotic makes just as good a governor as we ever had.
You know, he's not afraid to say what he wants to say and do what he wants to do, and he's sorry if he steps on some toes, but he does it anyway, so.
Who knows, you know? I mean, I would say stranger things have happened.
Get our mental health, let all the potheads out of jail and put them cricket bastards where they belong.
I'm one of those that they're casting votes for, the next governor of Oklahoma.
Break it down now, boys. Let's start with you.
All right, Joe, what happened tonight?
What happened tonight? We fucking lost.
You do everything against the odds.
I do. I'm gonna jump off this fucking roof here in a minute.
Don't say that. We're worried about that.
It's been great running against you. You've done a tremendous job, and I'm just glad that we're all friends.
We had fun.
How many death threats did you get?
Couple.
Okay, so that's a sign of a successful campaign, trust me.
Couple.
It's fair.
Yeah.
His governor campaign, I think that's where he kind of lost his path as far as what was the priority. It wasn't about the animals anymore. Everything was falling apart, from finances to animal care to employees.
The passion was there, but he lost it. I don't know where and how he lost it, but he lost it.
You know, you could always read Joe. He didn't have a poker face. We knew something was going on. You know, he was already a paranoid person, throwing people out, accusing them of being spies and stuff. But the paranoia was not unfounded. We found a microphone and an antenna top of the gift shop roof. It was about that tall, you know, a little metallic base with a short antenna. I don't pretend to be a technical wizard, but I could tell it was a listening device. That's when I knew that there was something serious going on.
She told me, she says, I hear Joe's under some kind of federal investigation. And I said, what did you hear? And she says, I don't know. She says, they were just talking about it here one morning. And that was... Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Sorry.
So we just interviewed Jeff Lowe, and the entire time he had incoming calls from a federal agent over and over.
Like who the hell still talks to Joe? That would even...
He told me that Joe's going down. It's over for Joe.
Oh my God, I can't believe. I mean, it was sort of funny when we started, but it's gotten really dark.
big home in Las Vegas with tigers in our house, and it got me in trouble. Animal control stormed the place like we were El Chapo, because I had 2 baby cats up there.
The animals weren't all that was taken. Marshals included multiple semi-automatic handguns and rifles.
You know what? I should have put a band-aid on Barry's convoy. He is a predator. A hardcore predator.
When Jeff Lowe came back from getting in trouble in Vegas, is when all hell broke loose. Ever since then, it's been the Jeff Lowe world, and that's when it all went to hell.
Jeffrey Lowe, I'm adjudicating you guilty, and I'm ordering that you surrender any animals that were confiscated. You will stay out of trouble. That means no illegal activity. If you do that, at the end of the year, I will vacate the jail time. If not, you will serve the 179 days. Do you understand my order?
When Lauren and I came back from Las Vegas, Joe was locking me out of the online bank account. So we snuck back and went to the bank. I wanted 12 months worth of bank statements because he wasn't providing me the bank statements. I went up to my cashier. She goes, "You okay over there?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" She goes, She goes, "I'm thinking that Joe was being investigated by somebody." And I looked at Lauren and I said, "By who?" She goes, "There was a federal warrant." And I said, "Really? Can you tell me what was that?" She goes, "That's all I know." She goes, "I don't know anymore." So the feds were watching him.
You're gonna get me in fucking trouble, Joe. And I came here to save your ass. You forged my name 20 fucking times on cash checks.
Just in that 12 months, while he was running for the governor of Oklahoma, we found, I think, $88,000 some in misappropriated spending.
You just do whatever the fuck you want without even asking me, and it's wrong. You are a shitty fucking partner.
So I can put some of my money in.
I don't give a flying fuck. You lost that when you fucked with Carol Baskin. That's not my fault. It's your fault. You can't funnel and embezzle money. I came here to bail your ass out. You would be fucking who knows where without me. And you even said it before I went to Las Vegas. You're not gonna fuck me, you're not gonna put me in trouble, and then treat me like shit, asshole.
He had spent $60,000 in campaign brochures and printing and signs and t-shirts and condoms with his picture on it.
It says campaign, paid by the park. That's illegal. And it's my ass. They already told me you're being investigated for something else, but they wouldn't tell me what it is. When shit hits the fan, I don't need another felony.
Let's take it off. I'll move.
Then do it. And I'll fight the right way.
Jeff Lowe was getting downright ugly. Right there in front of everybody else.
Right before Joe got kicked off the park, he took and burned all of the records because he didn't want us to be able to prove the embezzlement.
Shit, I think he burned laptops. I think he burned transfer papers. I'm sure Joe knew more than what he was telling me. I didn't have a clue where he was going, what he was going to do.
He comes in the office, distraught, tears in his eyes. Never seen this except for when Travis killed himself. Wipe all the computers, get out of here. He said, I don't know what's about to happen, but Jeff Lowe's taking the park from me.
The last 2 days, you could tell he was fixing to leave. He was fixing to bolt. And he was trying to gather up anything he could get a hold of to sell. He really, really got paranoid, like a little birdie and told him something's wrong.
Joe had a truck come in here so he could pick up animals in the middle of the night.
He shipped all them money cats out because they were all worth $3,000 and $4,000 a piece. And he shipped out quite a few.
We transported a bunch of different animals. I took 2 baby tigers to California. there was $5,000 exchanged in Branson, Missouri. We thought we were helping Joe out. I mean, we didn't know everything going on. We thought Jeff literally was taking everything away from him.
You got 6 minutes. 366. I'm giving him 5. Keep me looking.
Boy.
That was the last day that Joe was allowed in the park. I told Joe, if you come on his property again, I'll shoot you in the head.
You know, he's threatening to kill me. If I come back on the park, he's gonna kill me.
You're damn right. I would have killed him.
Whatever Jeff Lowe told him scared the living hell out of him. Joe was gone. Just gone. He won't tell anybody where he's at, not even me. And that's probably the last time I will ever see Joe Exotic.
This is goodbye. All of my fans, you're my biggest thrill. My biggest thrill.
There's just some things that I'd rather just be left unsaid. Some mistakes were made and some attitudes got out of hand. And rather than argue or be accused of stuff, I just decided to walk away. The cat's my responsibility, no matter who owns that suit. Just I'm the one who bred him and brought him into this world. So I feel obligated that I need to make sure that he's safe and secure. Look, that's lunch. That's lunch. I'm glad to see him finally in this final spot. This is where they're gonna stay. And there was a lot of threats thrown around, and I just would rather just get away. And their phones, they can't track me, they can't do that.
Joe, you don't seem like your regular self.
Just 20 years of blood, sweat, and tears, and every dime I had, I'm done.
You're done.
I'm done.
And who's the winner in this? Is it Carol?
Nobody.
Is it PETA? Is it Jeff? Who?
In the long run, it's gonna be the animal rights people are gonna be the winners of this because they're gonna end up with the property because nobody can afford the lawyer bills.
And what about Carol?
I still think that she deserves to sit in jail for killing her husband. But I truly believe in karma. And a few people got some karma coming.
Joe was on the run, and he told everyone that Jeff had a hit out on him, and Jeff was gonna kill him, and that's why he left the park. You know, why does an innocent guy buy a burner pump? We tried to narrow down where he was, but we just could never pinpoint his location.
You know, Joe cries victim that everybody's trying to take my zoo and everybody's trying to do this and that. Jeff Lowe already owned the zoo. Joe just wanted to put it in somebody's name and continue to be the Tiger King.
He thought he was more powerful than anybody because he was Tiger King, but that was just all in his head, among a bunch of other bad things.
Hey, Joe, sorry, my phone just cut out. Listen, I just went to the zoo. I'm gonna... All right.
It's not all this. You're not gonna notice, huh? Okay.
Joe's man who started this place 20 years ago, and he has just recently retired. Now we have new owners, and they're awesome. I was a little nervous about it, I'll admit, but they are awesome and easy going, so it's all good.
Customers would ask where Joe was. Is he coming back? Oh, he retired, is what the workers were told to say.
As soon as he was gone, anything and everything that had his image been on the burn pile. Word on the street is that Joe left to get his ass out of trouble.
The day after Joe left, Jeff and Lauren pulled together the morning meeting and they said, look, Joe Exotic's going down. Instantly, I just have an icy, cold, stabbing feeling going through my heart. It was just, Christ almighty, what has Joe gotten into?
Joe's MIA. A lot of rumors going around that he...
Wait, are you guys filming? Are you getting sound still?
Somebody better be rolling. Joe used money from the zoo running for president and governor. Is Joe nervous about that? I don't know. I mean, only Joe knows the truth, so he's either nervous about that or he's nervous about getting his ass kicked. I don't know.
What are some of the rumors?
Supposedly, I guess he solicited somebody to kill Carol Baskin. I'm just saying this from hearsay because I don't know for a fact. I'm almost positive that's why the feds are sniffing around. I mean, we've all said it, you know, somebody needs to kill the bitch. I mean, I can't tell you how many times everybody said it. You know, nobody's ever really just said how they're gonna kill them. They just said, I wish somebody killed that bitch. I wish the bitch was dead. You know, you just heard a lot.
From who?
From all. I mean, I've even said it before. I wish the bitch was dead.
There was times Joe would joke around about it, about taking out Carol Baskin. Joe had some pretty twisted ideas. But I just took it as jokes.
Do I believe that Joe hired someone to kill someone? No. No, Joe doesn't have that in her, one bit. But do I believe that Joe had a conversation with someone and said, man, I wish Carol was dead? Absolutely. He said it 100 times.
One time I was on the park and Joe's talking to me. He says, hey, I hear you can take care of a problem for me in Florida. I said, what problem would that be? He said, Carol Baskin. I said, no, I can't. I can't, I won't. Being around him, and I was around him quite a bit, you see sides of him.
When I do become psychotic, that's my going to Tampa gun.
If you really get in town with Joe, he was serious or wasn't serious half the time.
And you think Joe was acting entirely alone?
Some people working with Joe were criminals.
Jeff Lowe's a felon. He's done numerous things. I know he strangled his first wife in the past. Alan, Jeff Lowe's right-hand man, he's a felon. I don't know for a fact, but James Garrison ought to be a felon. Not only did he get in trouble for pulling a gun on somebody, this is the same man that sold me a stolen Hummer. And to this day, I still think there's a case pending in Garden County over it. They're just all crooked, you know? There's a bunch of rats in the neighborhood.
James, what's happening?
Not much.
How's business?
Not bad. The grind, like everything else. Grind.
I heard that Joe tried to hire someone to kill Carol.
He's been trying to get somebody to kill Carol for years. Alright? When Jeff came along, everybody thought Jeff was this multi-millionaire, had all this money and blah, 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 blah. And whenever Jeff got around, Joe got a big head, and those two were trying to get Carol out.
Why are you so convinced of that?
Because I was the only one there.
You were actually there?
Yeah. The first time I met and discussed the whole murder for hire, we were sitting in a meeting. Joe's in his little office back there, Jeff was right here. And they were talking about the easiest way to kill Carol.
You know, you cool cats and kittens, it's Carol from Big Cat Rescue.
There was a day where she was riding her bicycle down Bicycle Path, and she's riding with the Wicked Witch of the West. And Joe says, "Look at this bitch. She rides this entire bike trail, and there's nobody around." He says, "That's where you gotta hit her. That's where I gotta get her. Somebody take a shot from the bushes and get her right there."
And then Jeff Lowe goes to Google Earth and shows the bike path right by Big Cat Rescue and stuff. And he's like, "No, you need to sit right here and then shoot her while she's riding the bike." So Jeff Lowe knew more about the schematics than anything.
That was because I was the only one smart enough to bring up the picture on Google Earth and show it to Travis. Travis says, "I could shoot it from there, I could shoot it from there," and Joe's like, "You're not shooting her because you're my husband and you'll go to jail forever."
None of that's on my computer. It's on Jeff Lowe. But Jeff Lowe sent out to remove that all from his computer now.
Joe talked about killing this woman. If it wasn't a daily basis, it was definitely every week. So, well, the bitch still lives another day and says, I'll find somebody. He just wasn't shy about it.
Well, Joe brought it up several times. He died on anybody that killed the lady. I just put it off as, bullshit. I came in the office one day and he's like, "I got this crossbow. You can use this on her nature trail wherever she walks. You can shoot her with this and nobody'd ever see it." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Okay, I can see her walking around Florida with a fucking camouflage suit on, okay, but a fucking crossbow? Give me a break.
Alan Glover, he's an old-time employee of Jeff. Jeff knows him real well. Supposedly, since he has a teardrop tattoo, he's killed somebody before.
Well, Joe came to me one day, just out of the blue. He says, "You think Alan could kill somebody?" I said, "Is he capable of it?" I said, "Of course, who's not?"
"I'll cut her fucking head off for you if you want." And he was all into that. I said, "Would you like me to bring it back?" No, get rid of it in the swamp." I'm like, "Okay. Will do."
So Joe put a picture of her property on Facebook and it said, "Finally found where the bitch lives." The fuck are you doing, Are you stupid?
I love the cute hat.
Truth be told, it'd be better for the animal industry if Carol was dead.
Little hearts on the bottom.
But it started to concern me enough when I realized Joe's become a complete liability.
We're not done yet. We're still gonna dig up Carol's ass. Before I'm done with this, I'm gonna have the bitch's head in a jar.
Joe probably thought I was loyal to him and I would never turn on him. I told Lauren, I said, "You know what? I'm calling James Garrison and I want to meet."
So
So Jeff Lowe decided, hey, let's meet at Applebee's. Jeff Lowe claims Joe's doing all this illegal stuff. He said, I want to get rid of that zoo. I want to get out of that headache.
And I said, call Carol Baskin and tell her for $500,000, I will hand her Joe on a silver platter with all the crimes I know he's committed.
I said, sure, I'll do it. He offered me $100,000 to do it.
Carol's phone rang and saw that it was a 405 number and did not answer it. And then a text came in that said, if you want information against Joe, return the call. We sent that to the law enforcement.
I wait another day, and then I get a call. I'm like, who is this? And he says, I'm Special Agent Matt Brown with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. I'm like, really?
Special agents of the Fish and Wildlife Service have very similar powers to FBI agents. It's just they're mostly focused on animals, not people.
This agent shows up here at my shop. We talk. He's like, you're in a lot of fucking trouble.
For what reason?
Well, here's the deal. I don't have anything to do with any of this. Other than the lemur, I got my ass in a pinch and the feds fucking twisted my arm over that and shit. I had bought a lemur with bogus paperwork. They said, I'm probably gonna get a charge. And my lawyer told me, you gotta do what they want. They've got you fucking your ass hammered. I don't agree with the laws. I hate the fucking USDA. I don't like the government. That's me personally. But what do you fucking do? I thought about it for a couple weeks and I was like, do I want to get involved in this? And I thought it was a noble thing to do. So I signed up to be a confidential informant. I was told to record all conversations with Joe and Jeff. I had to keep track of it and figured out what they were planning.
Who is James Garrettson in all of this? And why is he working for the feds?
What? That's news for me.
I would say James Garrison's involvement is to get himself out of trouble if he's involved. He's got so much on him, he didn't know how he was gonna get out of it. So he come up with all this undercover stuff just to cover his own ass.
It had nothing to do with that lemur. James is the mastermind behind illegal credit cards. He's so generous, he just stole a number. As far as I'm gonna make it up, I said, well, nobody stole shit. Everything about him is a lie. The mayor is just a walking turkey dog, dude.
If I stole a Hummer, don't you think I'd be charged? Come on. The guy's delusional. So back in 2017, Joe was just running for office. Everybody looked at him like a clown. He could put his face on billboards, have a limousine to carry himself around. He can be the big hero, but he's really trying to find somebody to kill Carol Baskin. All I knew is Joe had already picked Alan Glover. Yeah. So I told the FBI Glover was going to actually do it. Nobody in the party knew about the undercover stuff. Not even Jeff Lowe.
I was sitting at my desk when the phone rang, and it was FBI. They felt there was an effort by Joe to kill Carol.
So when I'm told, well, there's a credible threat now, I'm like, there's been a credible threat all of this time. You just caught on to it in the last few days.
We were aware that this was a possibility. It's just that call seriously elevated this.
We reached out to Ms. Baskin in, I want to say November 2017. And this was at the point where we'd heard some recorded phone calls and conversations between Mr. Garrettson and Mr. Maldonado Passage, indicating that there was, in fact, a plot coming together. If Mr. Glover was leaving to commit this murder, Mr. Garrettson would have knowledge of that.
First, I heard that Glover was a knifer. Then I heard a gun. Joe, he didn't really get into detail. I think he was just leaving that up to the hitman. And when I talked to Glover, Glover was mean and nasty.
He said, if anybody at the park rats me out or whatever, I'll kill every one of these motherfuckers. And he was drinking a lot, did a lot of cocaine. When you're in that state, and he didn't have anything to lose, you know?
The plan was hide, hunt, find this woman, and Joe fucking put his trust in me to do it.
Carol stopped riding her bicycle to and from. We put in security cameras. We kept guns by the bed. And we carried guns in our car.
I got out of my car to get gas, and this guy starts coming toward me. The whole time he's approaching me, I'm thinking, at what point is he close enough that I should just turn this gas nozzle into his face?
And naturally, if someone is approaching you, now you're thinking, could this be the hitman?
And then Alan Glover disappeared. Fish and Game guys were like, fuck, what's going on? They didn't want him to get down there and kill Carol because they knew about it. They could have arrested him.
I had heard through the whistleblowers that one of Joe's tacks that he would take against me would be to drug me with ketamine, which is a paralyzing agent, so that they could put me into the back of a car and drive me out into a swamp where they could cut my body into pieces.
We were just trying to track Glover's whereabouts, like where he's at. Was he down in Tampa? But he's not responding. So it was a big shit show.
I knew that he was out there. I knew that he was deranged. I knew that somebody really wants me dead.
There was a noise out on our porch, which is right outside where our bed is. It sounded like someone had broken through the screen. And I woke up to see Carol there holding her gun, and it turned out to be two...
Dang near shot the neighbor's dog. You don't have to worry about the barking dog so much as the one that's quiet. Those are the people that worry me.
Eventually, I made contact with Alan Glover. I was just supposed to small talk with him, no matter what I really said, just to keep him talking. All the text messages was given to the government.
The conversations that had occurred with Mr. Glover seemed to indicate that that plot was over. Mr. Glover was just going back home to South Carolina. The agents agreed the plot had fallen apart.
Apparently I chickened the fuck out and didn't make it there. Started partying instead. I was pretty fucking scatterbrained. It's fucked up the way things happen, but it happened out for the best.
At that point, the case stopped. Glover ended up in a totally different state.
In murder for hire, the federal prosecutors don't want to bring a case unless it's rock solid. And to get to that point, things have to happen like transfer of money.
I thought the plot stopped with Glover, but the feds wanted me to put in a undercover agent. I picked him up, we rode my car. I was like, hey, Joe, this is my guy. This is the guy who will whack Carol for you. Really? How much?
They did discuss various details. Mr. Passage should buy some burner phones, or that Mr. Passage should obtain an unregistered pistol from a flea market, and that he would pay him some upfront money.
We started out at $5,000 down, and the $5,000 when she's dead. Well, let me sell some tigers, and I'll get you $10,000. He was negotiating. He was trying to get the best deal.
They discussed in detail. Follow her into a parking lot, cap her, and drive off.
They had to talk, and then they negotiated a price, and that was the wrap.
But why did you need a special agent to pose as a hitman?
That was going to be the nail in the coffin. But there was supposed to be payment.
government doesn't have any evidence that Mr. Passage actually obtained any of the phones or the pistol, and certainly that he did not give any money to the undercover agent.
Over the ensuing months, I would just check in with the FBI and make sure that this was still active and happening. We kept waiting for the arrest, but there were months where nothing happened.
It just dragged on forever and wasn't going to happen. So we all thought they backed off the plan. So about the same time that the FBI was waiting on Joe, Jeff was dealing with all the problems in Vegas.
I am adjudicating you guilty, or you will stay out of trouble. That means no illegal activity. If not, you will serve 179 days. Do you understand my order?
I do. The judge says, stay out of trouble for a year. We loaded up stuff, and we left. When we came back here from Las Vegas, I had one of my semi-daily conversations with James Garrettson, because we were kind of close at the time. We talked quite a bit.
I told Jeff some things that were in confidence.
Like what?
I said, I'm working undercover with the feds in the fishing game. I told him that they already knew about the plan to kill Carol Baskin. They knew everybody involved.
And I said, why haven't they come to me? And he says, they want to.
I asked him if he wanted to cooperate, and he said,
I'm dying to talk to him and tell him what I know.
When Jeff Lowe got in trouble in Las Vegas, he was looking at jail time there and a big fine. I promise you he's trying to squash that bullshit in Las Vegas by feeding them Joe. I mean, there's a motive behind their madness, I promise you.
I trusted James, and he said, look, they asked me to bring Joe a hitman, and had Joe pulled a $5 bill out of his pocket as a deposit, that would have been the impetus to storm the park. But because he didn't commit the overt act of actually paying, they had to wait. It was right after that, I told James, the day before Alan left, Joe paid him to go kill Carol. James brought the FBI, and I started spilling my guts. The feds had me call Alan and try to find out Alan's side of the story. And he says, can you give me immunity? I said, I can't. And I said, that's not my position. I said, but the closest thing you're going to get to immunity is if you come back here and help these guys. I said, because they don't want you, they want Joe.
They know all about Joe. Like, what I recommend strongly, you don't want to be on Joe's side when this comes down. You want to be on the government's side. What that means is you just got to tell me, like, when I don't put any words in myself, but let's just say from the very first time he approached you, what he said, and I'll let you go.
He asked me, hey, Bob, you know anybody to kill that woman for me?
What did he offer in exchange?
Well, he's supposed to give me $5,000 cash to leave with.
But your understanding that he gave you that money, he did it for the purpose of you going down to Tampa and killing Carol Baskin.
Yeah, he gave me $3,000, supposed to get $5,000, but he only got $3,000. But that wasn't about the fucking money, it was about fucking him over.